Melanie, the aging cheetah who had spent her life fearing humans, lay paralyzed in the hay as her body heaved with the final, record-breaking fifth cub. But as the tiny creature hit the ground, the nursery staff watching the monitors didn't cheer. They screamed in horror at the sight of the cub's distorted frame and Melanie's sudden death-like stillness. The air in the Metro Richmond Zoo was heavy and thick that morning, carrying the scent of impending rain and the metallic tang of high-stakes tension. It was 4 a.m. The world outside was a void of pitch-black silence, but inside the surveillance room, every eye was glued to the blue-tinted glow of the security feed. Melanie, a survivor of the brutal poaching fields of Namibia, was in the fight of her life. Every shallow breath she took was visible on the screen, her ribs straining against a golden coat that had seen far too much trauma. Years ago, Melanie had been snatched from the wild, escaping with a jagged internal scar that ran the length of her torso, a reminder of the poachers who had destroyed her family. She was a ghost in the grass, a one-of-a-kind female who had spent her life at the conservation center, rejecting every mate offered to her. She was picky, stubborn, and fiercely protective of her solitude. For years, the survival of her entire lineage rested on her shoulders, and for years, she had chosen to be alone. That changed when Bo arrived. He was a piece of her past, a male from the same Namibian plains she once called home. The moment they locked eyes through the fence, something shifted. The aggression that usually defined Melanie vanished, replaced by a soft, melodic barking and a gentle rubbing of heads. Within weeks, the miracle was confirmed. Melanie was pregnant, but the joy was short-lived. An ultrasound revealed 5 tiny heartbeats, a number that would push her damaged, scarred body to the absolute breaking point. As the weeks passed, the majestic apex predator began to wither. The 5 cubs pressed against her internal organs, making it difficult for her to eat or even walk. She became a high-risk patient, snapping at keepers and charging the fences with a desperate, fearful energy. She didn't see vets. She saw the ghosts of the men in jeeps who had hurt her years ago. The team was terrified if she went into distress during labor. How could they possibly save her if she wouldn't let them get within 10 feet of her? The labor lasted for hours. By the time the 3rd and 4th cubs arrived, the sun was just beginning to touch the horizon, casting long, cinematic shadows across the den. Melanie was fatting. Her head would drop into the hay, her eyes fluttering shut from pure exhaustion. When that final 5th cub emerged, the team saw the tragedy unfolding in real time. The cub was tiny, struggling to breathe, its head far too large for its frail, shivering body. This was the moment of truth. A young, relatively inexperienced vet was chosen to enter the enclosure. He stepped through the heavy steel door, his boots crunching softly on the hay. The silence was deafening. He expected Melanie to rise and defend her young with her life. He expected the snarl of a predator. Instead, Melanie looked at him. Her amber eyes were clouded with pain, but they were also filled with a strange, quiet recognition. In a move that left the entire staff breathless, she didn't charge. She didn't hiss. Slowly, with an agonizing effort, she rolled onto her side and stretched out her limbs, literally uncovering the ball of 5 cubs and offering them to him. She was surrendering her most precious cargo to the very species she had spent a lifetime fearing. The vet worked in a frantic, heart-pounding blur. He gathered the 5th cub, feeling its heartbeat fluttering like a trapped moth. He rushed it to the medical tent, where a team waited with oxygen and defibrillators. They fought for that little life until their own eyes blurred with tears, but the birth defect was too severe. To spare the cub a life of gasping for air, they had to make the hardest decision a healer can make. With heavy hearts, they let the 5th cub slip away into a peaceful sleep. When the vet returned to the den to return the 4 healthy cubs, he found a different Melanie. She was no longer the aggressive, untouchable queen of the zoo. She was a mother who understood that these humans were the only reason her other children were still breathing. She leaned into the vet's hand, a soft head bump that bridged a decade of trauma. The transformation didn't stop there. Over the next few years, Melanie became the mother of the center. When a second wave of pregnancies hit, and 2 younger females, Vila and Y, were struggling with their own protective instincts, Melanie was the one who kept the peace. She used her status to teach the younger cats that the keepers were friends. She turned a short-handed, chaotic situation into a sanctuary of trust. Today, Melanie is the grandmother of a legacy. From her first difficult birth, the center has gone on to welcome 90 cheetah cubs, helping move the species away from the brink of extinction. She is too old for more cubs now, but she spends her afternoons watching the younger generations run through the tall grass. Her story started with a scream of terror in a dark room, but it ended with the soft, rhythmic purr of a survivor who finally realized she didn't have to fight the world alone.